What in the world is going on with Pokemon? Is this the same game that allowed you to unlock the national dex after seeing all Pokemon from that generation? Is this the same game that allowed you to go to a physical store and get codes and have a great time? You're like feeling that pressure of going in there, getting yourself your shiny Pokemon or whatever the Pokemon is for that event and having a great time, because that's really cool. Instead of just getting mystery gifts, that's what, a berry, or maybe even sometimes on the odd occasion a shiny Pokemon, but it just doesn't have that same sentimental feeling that you had once before. Is this the same game that sometimes remasters their games to the fullest extent, like one of the greatest games of all time, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver? Now, we recently got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Now, those games right here are pretty interesting. They're definitely not remastered to the fullest extent that Heart Gold and Soul Silver once gave you, but they still aren't the worst games in the world. Now, honestly, I just wish that Pokemon would take the time and effort into making one game truly the greatest game possible. Now, if we're taking a look at Pokemon Legends ZA, now this game right here seems to be in a mixed situation. Now, on one hand, I see that there is a big, large community that loves these games. I personally think that these games are okay. Now, I'm not just gonna sit here and say, well, the art style kind of sucks, because no, that's okay. I mean, it's improving. It's more the fact that you go from one game and then everyone loves that. You completely change it up into a different thing, and now you can't even leave a city. And that right there is mind-boggling. But hopefully, inside of the city, we see all 1,000 Pokemon. Now, we better see all 1,000 Pokemon, because honestly, I think the national decks inside of other Pokemon games are truly special. And there's one Pokemon game that really brings all the Pokemon that's ever existed into one game. Do you know what game that is? That's right. That's Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go really does this really well. I think that Pokemon Go really is a fun Pokemon game for what it gives you. Now, of course, not everyone can play Pokemon Go as a fact. Honestly, I can't even play Pokemon Go that well. The only Pokemon that I can catch is like maybe on the odd occasion Pikachu's, starters, and that's pretty much it, because I don't live in a massive city. But overall, I think that Pokemon Go is the great example of a good Pokemon game, because it gives you all the things that you really want. You want all of the Pokemons? There you go. You have all the Pokemon. You want updates pretty much every single week? There's all the updates. You want to have like a whole bunch of legendaries? You can catch legendaries. You can go and battle with your friends. You can have fun. You can even play with your friends. Honestly, that's a great time. Now, of course, these are two different realities when we come to Pokemon, but it still technically is in the same realm, and you can definitely utilize Pokemon Go and mix it into Pokemon Legends EA, or mix it into a different Pokemon game that they can eventually build upon, because Pokemon Go really is one of those fantastic games, because there's not too many fantastic games when we're looking at Pokemon right now, but there still is a lot. I think that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are really fun games, and some of the connectivity that it gives you with Pokemon Go truly is special, because you can go out there, have a great time, you know, catching, battling, walking along a park. Oh my goodness, I found a shiny Pikachu. What in the world? You catch your shiny Pikachu and you can transfer it to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and you can have a great time. You can also get the Pokeball Plus, or you can even get the Poke Walker, which was the original Pokeball Plus for Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where you were able to go along and walk your Pokemon and have fun, catch Pokemon when you were, you know, about in your day. Overall, it truly is special. But right now, it seems like we're not really getting some of that enjoyment, some of that excitement when it comes to Pokemon. Now, right now, going on for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, there is a shiny Wu-Chen raid, but that doesn't feel the same as it once was, when you would go out to the physical store and you would get yourself your mystery gift, or you had to go and battle some championship or something, or maybe you had to go out and walk 1,000 kilometers to get yourself your shiny Pokemon. Some Pokemon games really felt special because it gave you a sense of challenge. It gave you a sense of joy going out to see even Pokemon fans like us in the public trying to get their shiny. Now, I see ever since the 2020, I believe, things have started to shut down, things have started to go all over wishy-washy, but it's opening back up again. We should be able to go out, find shiny, get a little card or something that's like, hey, this has shiny Wu-Chen or something like that. I'm not saying that the raid system is necessarily bad, but it doesn't hold the key moments of what Pokemon truly is. Pokemon isn't necessarily a game anymore. It's more like a whole a whole universe, as a fact. Whole universe of different Pokemon trainers that like to explore different games. And one way that they truly could do this is bring back events, bring back different ways to play Pokemon, different shiny hunting method, different, honestly, national decks where you can go out and get yourself your national decks, different community-wise things. Instead of locking you up, we should be exploring. We should be like in a big open world. And I don't know, am I the only one that thinks Legend ZA definitely didn't give you that? X and Y was a charm. Like, honestly, X and Y was a really great game because it came off of such a good era and it kind of mixed into the DS standard Pokemon games pretty well. You got the Mega Evolutions, you had your nice adventure, your story-driven game, and you also got stuck in Lumio City for a long time, and getting PTSD going around and around and around in circles was a little bit of a nightmare on my end. But that doesn't exclude the fact of how much fun I had playing the older Pokemon games. Recently, I played through the majority of the older Pokemon games, and let me tell you, I had an absolute blast. But then when I came to the Nintendo Switch era of Pokemon games, it was a little bit of a struggle. I definitely didn't feel the same amount of enjoyment that I did playing the DS Pokemon games, and I have no idea why. What was it that brought me so much joy? Was it the events? Was it the way that the game was utilized? Was it the functionality? Was it the extra content that the game actually has? I don't know. It's just something that's really been bothering me. Something that's, it feels like I don't know where this is headed anymore. I have no idea. And I'm not saying that Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be a bad game. That's not my intention. I just think that instead of locking us up inside of a city to go and hunt Pokemon and, you know, being stuck there, maybe you should allow us to thrive. Thrive on the excitement, thrive on the joy, and thrive on being able to go anywhere you want. Honestly, one game aspect that was really great inside of a Nintendo Switch Pokemon game was actually Pokemon Sword and Shield, where you were able to see a whole bunch of live players walk around you and have fun, like catching things, they would battle, and you can see them in the open world. That was a good aspect. You could have probably seen that in Legends ZA, and it doesn't seem like we will be getting that cool functionality, that cool mechanic that we had. There was another thing in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, honestly, when you were able to ride a Pokemon. Imagine if they brought that into Legends ZA. It also doesn't look like we're getting that either. So what is there? Instead of not taking anything from the older Pokemon games that actually people like, you just make something completely off script and completely off topic that, like, what? Like, I don't know. Right now, it looks to be a pretty cool game because instead of sitting there mashing one button, like, mash, 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 that's one thing that I found kind of boring with the older Pokemon games. You just sat there, one button, okay, I'm clicking, I'm just gonna fall asleep. I'm still clicking, okay, I'm battling, okay, I keep going, grass, oh man, another encounter, are you kidding me? That's a good thing with the newer Pokemon games. You don't have grass out the wazoo where you walk in there, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, and you're into like 3-4 different encounters. That's a good thing, that's a good change. But overall, I just think that Pokemon definitely doesn't feel the same. I honestly hope to see a Pokemon Go style of Pokemon game. I think Pokemon Go is just a fun game. It's not necessarily for everyone, of course. You can't play it if you're not in a city. I mean, you kind of can, but it's definitely not the same. It's just an interesting time. It's just an interesting thing to Pokemon. Do I think that Pokemon ever will go to the way that it once was? Maybe it's a possibility because there's been a lot of leaks about, I'm sure you heard about it by now, Pokemon Wind in Waves, and that seems to be the Generation 10 that we're going into, and I hope we get the National Dex return. I hope that you're able to ride Pokemon. I hope that you're able to catch, battle, maybe even use some mechanics from Legends Z8. There's a lot of game mechanics that look pretty good. I hope there's mega evolutions. I hope that there's like a nice sense of exploration. It looks to be that we're going to be taking place in the Cyglades. So the Cyglades is a giant group of, islands inside of Greece, I believe. Is it Greece? Anyways, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. So overall, I'm really excited for the future of Pokemon. Hopefully we can get past all of the roughness, all the rough bumps, and we can have fun exploring the lands of Pokemon once again. I hope that we see some things return from the older generations of Pokemon. Pokemon following you, that's another good example. Maybe even being able to go underwater and use Pokemon abilities to your heart's content. Like, imagine the capabilities, imagine what you can do with, maybe you catch yourself a Kyogre and you're underwater and you're swimming, you're having a great time, you're under the sea, you're just doing your old Pokemon things. That'd be really cool. Or you can fly as high as you can go inside of the clouds or something and there would be different Pokemons there. That would be something really interesting. You can definitely utilize different things from the older games and still put the spin on it like a Nintendo Switch game would be, because we're definitely by now aren't going to be seeing the return to 2D style of Pokemon. It's just not going to happen because the Nintendo Switch games, I believe, actually sold more than any other Pokemon game. Anyways, the numbers are up here right now on screen, but yeah. So I don't think we're going to go back to 2D necessarily, but that doesn't mean that we can't see any of the functionalities, any of the fun events that we used to have once upon a time, because I was honestly really excited to play Pokemon back in the day. Like, really excited. There was different events that you could go to, and it was just really fun. It was like a different time for sure. It definitely was a different time. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts on Pokemon actually are in the comment section down below. Do you think that it feels a little bit stale right now? Pokemon just like definitely isn't the same. And honestly, if you're still playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, consider to go and get yourself your shiny Chenho. It's an ice type, so you should be able to take it down with a fighting type move or a fighting type. Usually Iron Hands is a good option for that. You should be able to take it down with no problem, and it's probably going to help you all a lot. You know, you get your shiny. If you got your shiny Wu-Chen, hey, congratulations to you if you got that. If you didn't, I believe it's not actually out yet in the game, but you should get a mystery gift sometime soon. Maybe in September or something, we'll get all the mystery gifts for the Pokemon that we did take down. If you didn't take it down, maybe you will still get the mystery gift. Is it something like everyone gets the mystery gift, or is it only if you participated inside the battle? Now, if you participated in the battle, I honestly kind of hope it's something like that, because then it just doesn't feel like a handout to everyone. It doesn't feel special. You know, you want things to feel special. Shinies used to feel really special, and now they seem like a different colored Pokemon. That's pretty much what the shinies are, but it definitely doesn't feel the same that it once was. Hear me out. Do you think that this is kind of what you feel like Pokemon definitely is like right now? It definitely isn't the same as what it once was. It feels like Pokemon are just like, these are the games. You don't get any of the old features. You don't get the National Dex. You don't get Pokemon following you. You don't get any of that stuff. Have fun. Anyways, what do you think about this? Do you think that this is an interesting topic, or do you think that I made a complete fool of myself talking about something completely off topic for the longest time? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you hear me out on Pokemon definitely not being the same anymore. Do you think my points are valid, Pokemon Go being a pretty good game, or do you think no? Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a fantastic day. And with that being said, consider to hit the like button. Maybe subscribing if you're new. I do a whole bunch of different Nintendo content. Some is like The Legend of Zelda. Some of it is like Pokemon, as you know. Some of it's Mario and Nintendo news. Anyways, that being said, Hope you have a great day. Anyways, see you in the next one.